Hey there. One of my favorite sales leadership stories ever. Back in my call center days, I was a young manager. I think I was the youngest second level area manager in my company. And I had a lot to learn. And a lot of it I learned the hard way. And this was one of those where, there was pressure coming down. And I ran a center where, I would pick these leads. We would call these campaigns. We had 890 plus campaigns that we'd have to run. My team was like a cleanup crew. We would call in the off season where the advertising reps weren't calling into these markets. We would call everybody that wasn't advertising and hopefully come up with some gold in them hills, right? I mean, some of the campaigns we would call, like, they'd have a 0.01% conversion rate. I mean, it was just paltry. But, you got a couple hundred reps and you make, 400 dials a person a day. You come up with some stuff, right? Well, I had come up with this. We had some campaigns that had higher conversion rates. There was the Glengarry leads that were these like people coming out and building a free ad, and those had like a 13% conversion rate. There was just not very many of those types of leads, and I came up with this scheme to call the worst leads possible at the beginning of the month, and then gradually move in the great leads. And I mean, we would call some of these great leads over and over and over, because honestly, like, even if you call like a free ad customer for the fifth time, it's still better than calling a non-advertiser who has never done anything with us for the first time, because your chance of success is higher. So anyway, we had a month where, I mean, it was like, my gosh, we were almost halfway into the month and we were sitting at like 46%. We were trending to hit 46% to goal. And I'd never missed goal in my entire career. And my boss is coming down on me and he's like, your plan doesn't work and this and that. And it's like, that pressure on me, we have a choice when we face and feel pressure. Like, we can either, absorb it, take it, still execute, or we pass it on to others. And I was making the rookie mistake of messaging my team, and in our morning stand-ups I was calling out the bad performance, and just, we can't have another day like this, and doom and gloom. And people look to their leader to be the beacon of hope, even when stuff stinks. And you know what? One day I just kind of decided, like, my boss, he called me every morning and he would literally quote Gordon Gekko, and he meant it. He was an interesting character. So the pressure was still there, but I just decided, you know what, man, I'm going to flip the script today. So morning stand up, I did nothing but call out awesome stuff, recognizing people, giving this uplifting message, talking about the leads that we were going to call, because my boss wanted me to unleash the Glengarry leads early, and I refused. We were calling these non-advertisers in Detroit in the middle of a recession. Like, we'd have to call these campaigns because the field offices wanted us to dial these leads. And so I had to, basically commit to each of these campaigns every month. And I knew, like, okay, we're going to probably have another garbage day because we're calling garbage leads. But I just decided, like, I'm going to, like, act like this is the greatest thing in the world. I gave kind of a summary of the market that we were calling into, where we could find some opportunity, some uplifting message, gave recognition, just pumped these guys up and helped them understand where the opportunity was. And I think I threw out some incentives for the day, just get these guys going in any way that I could. And then to top it all off, I was parading around the office. We had these like cubicle, tall cube style scenarios, and I'm parading around the office and I'm blaring the freaking song "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey with a jam box. And yeah, kids, you can Google that term. So We ended up killing it that day. We had by far our best day of the month. I didn't have to bring out the scalding hot leads just yet. And we cruised en route to 132% to goal that month. What that taught me is that as a leader, you get to decide what the pressure does to you. Does it help you focus on what really matters and double down on the fundamentals and the people? Or does it make you erratically not keep a steady hand on the wheel? You get to decide.